Hey y'all, it's really late. I am up doing some work and I was just sitting here listening to my spirits and wanted to share something that they dropped on me. I want to talk about the tower card just a little bit. I am actually in a tower year, and so the tower has been a calling card, no pun intended, for me for pretty much this entire year. There's been a lot of shifts and changes. And as I was just sitting and meditating with this card just now, I asked my spirits if they had anything new they wanted to share with me about it. And what came up was this oracle card, Rejection. And something really cool just came to me and I wanted to share it. So last year, one of my teachers really blew me away when he started talking about rejection. And he specifically was talking about building the body for rejection. And that phrase really just stood out to me. And it's something that if you work with me closely, if you are one of my clients even, then you've probably heard me say this before. It really shifted something in me because what he was talking about in building the body for rejection was this idea that when you are in the face of rejection, that you aren't moved, that you aren't swayed, that you don't grimace, right? And embrace yourself for protection. Instead, you practice being with yourself and building certainty in your body, such so that when rejection comes, you are like a solid foundation, right? And I wanted that. When he started teaching that, I was like, I want that, right? I want when someone rejects me or there is some sort of rejection in some way, form, or fashion, that I don't like lose myself, that I don't windmill, right, and lose control and feel like I am nothing, right? Rejection doesn't feel good typically. So I was really intrigued by the thought of building the body for rejection. And so I think that when we're talking about the tower, and the tower being, right, the divine intervening to say that whatever is going on right now is not worthy enough to proceed. Or said a different way, the way things are right now are fine, but they could be better or they could be different, right? Let's not even put value about like good and bad value. It could just be saying it's time for a change, right? And so that's when the tower moments come. And so if you are someone who maybe you're in a tower moment yourself or you're in a tower season, then I wanted to share this with you because I thought this was really cool because I'm in a tower year. So there's a lot of shifting and changing for me. I literally moved across country. I left the deep south and I'm all the way on the west coast now. So changes like that. But so when we're talking about building the body for rejection, what I assumed is that, I would be like my teacher said, able to withstand rejection where someone might, tell me no, say they're not interested, or end a relationship or connection with me. And I would get to then practice be holding myself and whatever emotions come up and still be able to engage with them without, completely collapsing, right? Not letting that be the end of my world. That's one part. But let me tell you about how rejection has been showing up in my life that I didn't expect, thanks to the tower, right? The tower, I think that those rejections can feel like that, right? It might be like the end of a job, right? Or the end of a relationship. That's typically what we think of when we think of a tower moment. What I wasn't prepared for was the rejections that I would be handing out. The rejections that I would be enacting. That I would be rejecting old beliefs. That I would be rejecting old plans that I had. that I will be rejecting structures and systems that I had built, that I felt safe in, that I had strong values attached to, that now I am the one rejecting those things, those very things I did not see coming. That to me is a tower moment. Because now when I am speaking about building the body for rejection, it's always been like the rejection was happening to me. But there's something really cool about thinking about building the body to withstand the fallout of me rejecting old things. Particularly if these are things that meant a lot to me, right? I am changing my relationship with systems. I am changing my relationships with religion. I am changing my relationship with how I show up inside of my spiritual traditions. I'm changing my relationship with my ancestors and some of the spirits that I've walked with for a long time. I am now rejecting a lot of things that I thought I would always be attached to. I'll give you a clear example. When I was I used to be, for those who don't know, I used to be very in the church. I was very Christian, raised Christian. There's a song that Crystal Lewis, for those who, grew up in the 90s, you might remember Crystal Lewis, who we love, if you listen to contemporary Christian music. Crystal Lewis had a song called Lord, I Believe in You. And the song goes, the chorus goes, Lord, I believe in you. I'll always believe in you. And it's just that refrain, I believe in you, I believe in you. I'll always, something about that, always, I'll always believe in you, right? So imagine me years later, loving that song as a child, growing up, and I had to reject that. The thing that I said I would always believe in, I now reject. And so that changes my relationship with people. That changes my relationship with that deity. And so the building of the body is, who are you when you reject the old thing? Right? When we recognize that we have been attached to things for so long. And now it's time to, as I've been saying, sever the Savior. So, the tower this year for me has been a balm. A balm. To come in and do, like some of my spirits do, come in and sweep around your porch, push out the old, to open the roads for the new. And so I was preparing this year for, for me to be the one being rejected, not for me to be the one doing the rejecting. But that shows where we are. If you find yourself in a place of rejecting, that shows where you are. That shows your growth. That shows your evolution. That's your autonomy. That you know now that you can reject. That you can say no. It stops here. That you can be the tower. That you can demolish what was there before and start afresh. Someone said, woo, yes, it's the knowing that you are safe with yourself and you don't have to wait on rejection. You can also reject the things which do not serve you. Exactly that. Exactly that. Absolutely. We can reject the things that don't serve us. And I think that that's something that we know cognitively, but when we come up to that moment of having to do that, what happens in your body then? Is your body ready to be disconnected from what you're severing? Is your body ready? I just posted right before this a reel talking about when there are some people who will not celebrate you in your becoming because your triumph triggers them. That's something to be mindful of as you are doing the work of severing, as you are doing the work of rejecting the old things, as you are aligning and realigning yourself, is being ready for people who don't go with you. That's the preparation in the body that has to happen. Are you okay if you have to go this road alone? How are you building the body for that certainty? Because as you are disconnecting from old things, there is a wound there, right? Even if it's a clean cut, sharp sword, there's still a wound there. So when we say build the body, it also means hold the body. Holding your emotions, your very real emotions. Being present with yourself as you're changing. As you're changing. Being honest about what is coming up as you move. Being honest about what is healing for you right now as you change. For a long time, as I started making changes and shifts in my spiritual life, in my religious life, as I was leaving Christianity, knowing that that's where a lot of my identity, community, and family were involved inside of that religion. For a long time, I felt like I was the one being rejected. Now, knowing that I was the one who was knowing that I was the one making the decision, yes, but I was actually the one enacting the change. That I was the one leading the charge. How can I say it more plainly? That I was the tower in their lives. That I, in my choice and my choosing, I was a mirror. I am a mirror. And so, yes, sometimes your triumphs, your testimony will trigger people. What I am holding right now, I think it's just so cool that we get to make autonomous decisions that may include some severing. And that as we choose to sever, as we choose to go a new way, as we are the ones rejecting the old, that it does make way, it cleans the slate for newness. for becoming in ways that you did not anticipate, to do things that you didn't know you could do, to say things that you thought you would never say, to reach people you never thought you could reach. Huh? That's the gift. That's the gift. And that is why the tower comes. That's why you get that urge to get up and move and go. Yes. Muy encantadora says, and it clears the path forward as well. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can see, right? You have clarity. As I've been sitting with the things that I am rejecting, I can see so clearly now. And you know what they also don't always tell us is, and if you are a seer or a spiritual person, then you know what I'm talking about. The sight is isolating. Because yes, there is a clear path and you can see all the way down the road. But other people can't see what you see. And you could be like, you don't see this. You don't see what's happening. Do you see what's possible? Right? And they can't even sense it, let alone see it. Whether it's danger or it's expansion, some people can't see it. And so that part is isolating. That part is isolating. But again, if you are building the body for rejection, when that happens, even when it feels like the rejection is wrapped in that isolation, right? That feeling like you're all alone by yourself, and you know what I'm saying? It feels like nobody can access what I'm accessing and I can't connect with anyone. When it feels like that, your building of the body in that moment might look like believing yourself. It might look like self-trust. It might be, as I've been saying all year, regarding self as source. It might require big faith. That even though other people can't see or sense what you see and sense, that you can still be bold and courageous enough to go down the path anyway. Building the body for rejection means you might not even be turning around to look to see who's going with you. Because it's not about that. That's your path. Something else that this same teacher says often to me. He not only said build the body for rejection, he also said everybody's looking for a path. They want answers. People want guarantees. They want answers. They want to say, what's my path? Where should I go? Where's my path? And he said the point of the matter is, if the path is already made, it's not your path. If the path is already laid out, if it's paved, if it's pretty, it's got flowers on it, huh? When you start walking down the cobblestone, angels start singing, right? He said that's not your path. You have to do the demolition work. You have to actually start rejecting some things. Level the tower yourself. And then your path will be shown to you. But it's not going to be paved when you see the path. Right? But your spirit eye, right, will see amongst the rubble, oh, I need to go that way. That's the way. And it might be riddled with litter, gravel, trash. It's your path. Every step you take is showing you more to remove, more to clear out, more to heal. So yeah, people are not going to always go with you when you are moving down that path. Oh, they might show up when you got the street lights up and you got the cobblestone down and you got the paved and you got the landscaping just right. They may not go with you when it's overgrown with weeds. They might not be with you when you're down on your hands and knees pulling them out weed by weed, right? They might not be with you when you're planting the grass seed by seed. But when you're down there, that's when you're building the body. So by the time the people come, you've done the work of building the body for rejection. So when people say, I don't like the roses on this path, you're going to be like, okay, go find your path then. This is my path. Can't you see this is the evidence of my work with my hands and my feet and my faith? This is my path. So you see, the work of building the body for rejection has always been about you minding your business. It has always been about you minding your business, minding your work, honoring your yeses and nos, and staying in the work. Staying in the work. And something that my coach, shout out to Michelle, my coach says is there's power when we know that we can be connected and not attached. Catch that. The power of being connected and not attached. Meaning I can be connected with you without being overly attached or enmeshed to the results. Right? So let's say I am on my path that I've cleared out because I have come in here and I've knocked the tower down and I got a brand new path that I've made for myself. And now people want to come see what I'm doing. Or maybe I've invited people to come see what I've done, what I'm building now that I've knocked the old tower down. These people who are coming now to witness the work, it's important to be connected with them, to connect with them. But be mindful not to be attached. Because if you become attached and enmeshed, then you start to fuse yourself with them. And then your body's not your own anymore. Now your body is at the whim of how they feel and what they think and how they criticize and even how they praise you. Sever. Sever again. When I say sever the Savior, I don't just mean Jesus. I mean sever every part of you that's looking for somebody else to validate your existence, to save you from you. So, I gotta let that sit. Gotta let that one sit for a minute. Yeah. Can we be connected and not attached? That way people can come, they can walk the path, right? And when they say they don't like the roses that you planted, you say, okay, I hope you find some other flowers that you like. Thanks for stopping by. And you move on. Not because you don't care about the work. It's because you're with yourself. You're with your body. And you don't see that criticism as a personal attack. That person just don't like roses. They ain't got nothing to do with you. Maybe they're allergic to roses. You didn't know that. You planted the roses because that's what you wanted. That's what you liked. They don't gotta like what you like. And so then the rejection becomes less about you. Because you can see, I was making somebody else's thoughts and opinions more important than the truth. We don't have to make rejections mean anything about ourselves or anything else. We can just trust ourselves to do what we gotta do when it's time to do it. And we can let people feel how they feel. Let them have their opinions. And let them make their own path. You keep working on your path. And if ever you on this path that you've been working on, and all of a sudden you decide, I think I need to reject something else. There's something here that's not quite fitting me anymore. Then we do it all over again. Rejection. And then you continue to bloom all the more. That's where I am right now. Things, ideas, situations that I thought that I would be connected to forever. No. I'm allowed to change my mind. I'm allowed to continue to grow and evolve and shift. And as I do that, I am allowing the body, my body, grow and bloom too. And I'm allowing my creativity to thrive now, my spirit to thrive, my relationships to thrive. Because I'm not stagnant. I'm not hiding inside of the tower. I will demolish it if I need to. Because then the clarity comes. The clarity comes. And that's when the transformations happen too. If you are still watching me live, thank you for being here. And if you're watching the replay, leave me a comment and let me know if anything resonated with you. I am really excited about the rest of this tower year for me. And if you are in a tower moment or a tower season, I'm excited for you too. Because we don't have to sit around and just, just brace thinking that the divine is going to be handing out, rejections for us. Sometimes the call is for us to start doing some rejecting of our own volition. We are the ones sometimes that are being called to make big radical changes. Yeah. I'm glad that it's settled in a different way. Yeah. I give thanks to the divine for breath. Sometimes we just need the breath. Wherever you are, I wish you peace, love, and abundance of care. May you feel encouraged in your tower moments as you are expanding and shifting. Let it happen. Let it happen. Right? Let it happen. And watch how much opens up for you when you reject the old and come into the new. Sending out love. See you next time.